They definitely tried to sexualize the Lois character
Yep.
this season. How are his
Well,
lips?
I remember.
How are his lips? It must be a ton of pressure to do a relationship right that everybody knows is supposed to be perfect in the end. Let's see how Erica Durance did it.
Knowing that Clark and Lois would inevitably be an item.
Yes.
What were your thoughts and feelings as the seasons progressed and the storyline started pushing more in that direction?
I was curious as to how they were going to kind of create a little longevity there, make it fresh, keep it fresh, how I was going to be able to keep some of those situations.
Do you think guys think they did a good job with that? I kind of think they did. When she got on, they did do a good job of keeping it fresh. Now, the later seasons, it was a little like, okay, come on. But, they did a good job.
Interesting, so that I wouldn't always play the same beat. Because sometimes the situations are quite similar as well, right? Because they know that is working and people love that recipe, but then you don't want to constantly do the exact same thing.
Right.
And so I think I was pretty curious about how they were going to kind of tie it all up. And I was often pretty excited on the show about what was going to happen.
You could tell she seemed like she loved her job. She seemed like she was doing a good job at it.
Also, like Lois was the only character really where you got to see Clark have a sense of humor. And you brought that out in that relationship, the teasing.
Yeah.
And
that's not a bad point. She did. She brought out the Clark in Clark, actually. Guys, I just had like an epiphany. That makes sense. She brought out the Clark in Clark. So I always thought it was dumb that he was like this more like Superman guy. And then towards the end, he starts, he starts like with the glasses and has nerdy moments in here and stuff. They didn't really do much with that. This makes sense what he's saying. She brings out the Clark in him. She is the reason why he found that persona. Oh, guys, I just rectified something that bothered me for many, many years. I hope you had the same epiphany.
Thing. So that was always fun.
Yeah. Did you ever? Do you remember the first time you had to kiss Tom?
I think yes, and part of it was because I think it was the Crimson episode, and it was also because I was.
She doesn't have. She has it in her hand, the phone. I don't know why that's bothering me.
Oh, Glenn.
So, and you know how they create, situations so that you can be like supercharged, so you can't even be like kind of calm about it. You're like you have to be full on. And so when it was it was like red kryptonite or something.
Is that what it was?
And so then it was like very intense. And I think that there was part of me also because I am, believe it or not, kind of shy. So like when I knew stuff like that was
I do have a hard time believing that
going to be happening, I knew everybody
Do y'all
else
believe that she's shy?
Like, oh, they're going to kiss this episode. And so then there was part of me that was like, oh, do we have to make such a big deal out of it? Like,
How are his
well,
lips?
I remember.
How are his lips? Guys, I have got to interview Michael Rosenbaum on this channel. I would have so much fun with that. That guy's hilarious.
Because you were very much on board. And this is why I like to. But you and I are very much
that
alike.
Does not sound like the words of a shy girl, but she's with her friends, though. I get it.
In that we will say to a director, what's the shot? What do you need? So we can do it.
Yeah.
But don't just sit there and be like, go ahead, guys, see what happens. It's like, it's a visual medium. We're in control of this. And so it's it's orchestrating sort of a dance or a ballet a lot of times. And then you go and do it. And then you're kind of like, okay, we're done.
And what I will say about you is you didn't eat my face. And like sometimes
Thank God. Gross.
that takes technique as a guy because guys are bigger than girls, right? So you have to be aware of like how big your face is compared to
I know
theirs.
exactly the clip that Bryce is going to use from those.
Yeah, I was thinking
we just heard it.
But it takes technique to know how to not do this thing because on TV, certain things just look frightening.
I never had any issue with the way they kissed on screen. I mean, there are definitely times on movies or shows where you're like, what are they doing? But yeah, no, they always seem pretty natural to me. And in all of their relationship, it was a good chemistry casting. If you don't get your Lois and Clark chemistry casting right, it really affects the overall enjoyment of the movie. I love Man of Steel, but the character development was not well done. And Amy Adams and Henry Cavill did not have that chemistry. Neither did Kate Bosworth and Brandon Routh, but Brandon Routh was still a good Superman in spite of the fact that Lois chemistry wasn't there. They had it.
And they might feel natural, but they look weird.
Less is better, even with kissing. They definitely tried to sexualize the Lois character this season in episodes like
I think I just talked about that in another video, how when Erica Durance came on, it seemed like she did all the stuff that Kristen wouldn't do. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me on that. Do you think Erica was like willing to do the things that Kristen wasn't doing? That's how I feel. I feel like as soon as they got her, they were like, finally, we got somebody that'll show a little skin, you know? That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like that's what they had been wanting the whole time.
But then they tone it down through the rest of season 5. Do you remember having conversations about it? Were you concerned? Did you put up a stink? Did you have these or did you just say, hey, whatever happens?
Guys, I am so excited to see what she says here, because my theory has always been that she was just willing to do whatever they asked. She probably had some concerns and stuff, but for the most part, I mean, I would think that she wouldn't be as just her personality, because she said she was shy, though. I don't know. Let me just see what she says.
I couldn't have conversations like that. I was number 8 on the call sheet.
Why?
Is she saying that she wasn't a main character enough to be like fighting? Like she's afraid she's going to lose her job, maybe? Because Kristen didn't care, man. She was all over it.
We had Kristen on too, and she said the same thing. Like no one ever wanted to hear what she had to say about it.
No, because
is that what she said? Well, I mean, I don't. They said they didn't want to hear it, but she still told them.
It was I was at that point. There wasn't the level of influence that I would have had, I think, to really say, hey, I'm not doing this thing. Plus, at the time, it didn't really bug me so much.
That is exactly what I kind of expected. I think she's trying to say in a nice way, it didn't bother me that much to do those kind of things. And it may be, as she's gotten older, she realized, I was just kind of being sexualized instead of, focusing on my acting talent. But yeah, okay, guys, now I feel like I have proof for what I've been saying all these years, that she was willing to do the things that Kristen wasn't willing to do. And it sounds like she was. She just didn't. What did she say? She didn't have issue with it or something like that?
Plus, at the time, it didn't really bug me so much.
It didn't bug her so much. Yeah, that is, to me, a very conservative way of saying, I was totally willing,
If that's weird. Like, sometimes I'll look back in hindsight and go, oh, what motivated me to do these? Why did I do this stuff? And I figured all that stuff out and unpacked it for myself, right? But at the time, other than feeling occasionally like, well, I'm the only girl that's taking her clothes off, maybe I have absolutely no standards.
I bet that changed, though.
I was just like, but I'm doing so
much. Does Rosenbaum have a pierced tongue?
That's funny.
But I bet the older you get and the more mature.
I keep seeing a shine in his mouth. I think he does.
But I'm later and rich.
Well, the more seasons you get as an actress, as an actor.
It's gone. I think it was something else.
Don't you feel like you now stick up for yourself a little more? You now will do things that you want to do, and you'll speak up if you need to.
Y'all should go back and look at that. Maybe I don't want to waste the time, but go back and look at his tongue and see what I was talking about.
That way.
Well, I would say 2 things have happened. I stick up for myself more, and people ask me not to take my clothes off as much.
What?
In your 40s, they don't ask you as much, and that's one of the wonderful things about getting to be 40, because people don't want to see that. So you don't even have to.
That's hilarious, but come on. Let's just say that I might be a similar age group as Erica Durant's, and I don't see why. I am married. I got to be careful about what I say here.
Negotiate.
I think that's a bunch.
I think, what Michael's saying. Yes.
Showing. It's true, though. Many women will tell you, they're like, yay.
With some women in their 40s, yes. With that one, I bet she still gets asked or something. Something, you know what I mean?
I also think that as we've gotten older, one of the things that I try to do is I have better conversations before I even get on a project.
Yes.
Like I'll ask people, what's the big plan here? Like, how do you like to work? And so you're almost more on the same page. When I did Lucifer, they would have meetings with the actors at the beginning of the season and let them know what their trajectory was.
Yeah.
For the whole season. They already had it figured out. And everybody was more at ease as a result. It was a lot of fun. But I think that those conversations didn't happen on Smallville. It was moving too fast. Nobody really had time to get ahead of anything.
It was such a big machine, and you knew when you signed on. I think there was part of me as well. Like, I knew what I signed on for. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. She knew what she signed on for. And I think Kristen, she was like 17 when she started the show, I think. She was like, it's not what I signed on for. I'm the cute little, high school, love interest. I'm not like this sexualized piece of meat. Not saying Erica is, just saying that she was more, let her talk.
Definitely now there would be still more conversations. And I'd feel, to answer your question, Michael, like I'd probably feel more comfortable having those conversations because I know where I look back and I go, oh, I could have made sure of this, this, and this, and this. And, like you talk about a clothes set or something like that. Like There's so many things that I know to kind of look for and advocate for.
Yeah, when they're actors or beginner actors, like they don't really think about that stuff nearly as much. And honestly, the studios are looking for that. They're looking for people that don't know the questions to ask.
But if I sign on for something that has that as part of the mechanism of the character, as long as it's
I could have moved that.
making sense in the storyline, it's kind of tricky then to kind of go all of a sudden, well, I don't want to do this thing anymore.
So, guys, don't forget to check out Talkville podcast. They still talk about Smallville and get quite a bit of views. Check out the link in the description. Don't forget to check out my link for my Amazon store as well. Buy some Superman stuff. Get yourself hooked up like I am, and watch one of these videos, please.